Our speaker today is a hypnotherapist, mind, body, and spirit healer, and a psychotherapist who works extensively with energy healing. She's a coach and a mentor and helps people to effectively navigate through stress, anxiety, and fear. A very warm welcome to Asma Aziz, who will be talking about healthy mind, healthy life. She will cover understanding your body, the issues and the causes, reading the early symptoms of diseases in the body, impact of emotional and mental wellness to our lives, and impact of trauma in childhood. Without taking any more time, Asma, over to you.
Thank you very much, Umesh. A very good afternoon and good evening to everybody out there. I'm sitting in India right now, so it's 8:30 p.m. for me, and I understand it's about 4:30 for you. So good afternoon to all of you. It'd be nice if we can have a few of you switching on your cameras. I promise I'm not going to judge you or how you're looking, so, because there are a lot of screens on my computer here. So it'll be good to have a dialogue. I do not like to just speak to a screen. It'll be nice to have a conversation. And obviously, when there's people, ahead in front of me, you can take the best out of me. And so let me start today's workshop, today's discussion. Let me just quickly share my screen. So today we're going to talk about healthy mind and healthy life. Now, a lot of us, so how many of you are comfortable with Hindi as well as English? Or can I get a raise of hands for people who are uncomfortable with Hindi?
Asma, can we leave it, can we do it in English only, please?
All right. Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
All right. So moving on. So we always say that, when you are healthy in the mind, you're healthy in the body. But what do we really mean by it? What do we really understand by it? So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So before I start, I want to just quickly share with you about myself. As Umesh shared, my name is Asma Aziz, and he told you about a lot of things that I do, who I am, what I have done in my life. But I want to share with you a different side of me. I'm a single mother. I've got 2 kids. I have a 15-year-old and a soon to be 8-year-old. She doesn't like to be called a 7-year-old anymore. She has a full mind of her own. And I really promote my children to speak to me and discuss with me and have arguments with me. And I really don't try and put them or put my opinions on them. Rather, I want them, if they want something, to fight it out with me, to discuss it out with me. And when they lose the battle with me of the talking, then when their emotions come up, how to deal with them. And emotions because this is an education which we've unfortunately not been given, how to manage our emotions. And that is why if you see around you, most of us are struggling managing ourselves, our emotional health, our emotional wellness. Our current education system, as it suggests on the page, that I'm out to help change the education system, because our premise of our education system is, it stands on that we are not enough, that we need to go out and get an education and knowledge on subjects so that I can increase my knowledge, that I can, improve my communication skills, I can improve my leadership skills, I can deal with the world, I can survive in the world, right? But how I look at it is, and I will share with you where I'm coming from, is how I look at it is that, when a soldier is sent out for a war to the front, to the enemy lines, he has a backpack which contains everything from food to his resources, his guns, ammunition, connection to base camp, his water supply. He doesn't have to go and struggle behind enemy lines or on the border to fight the war. He already has all the supplies. He's fully equipped. Yes? Can I have a few hands go up if you're with me? So similarly, as we human beings come on this planet to live out our life purpose, whatever it might be, we also come equipped. We've got everything that's been given to us. But as we land up in this world, there is a lot of have to going on, I need to going on, shoulds going on. And what I mean by that is that there is a lot of I need to prepare for the future. I have to educate my children for the future to be able to take care of themselves. I have to study. I have to learn good manners. I have to do a lot of things to become worthy of living in this world, of surviving in this world. And because the focus here is survival, please mind you, for survival, we are all adept at surviving. We know how to survive. But survival is not a happy place to be. It is always a struggle. We are not thriving. All through my childhood, my parents were like, let's make her do this, let's put her into college, let's put her into this, let's make her do this program or this technical training so that she survives the world. But somehow, because I was so busy on preparing myself to survive, now I know how to survive. But it's not easy surviving. It's not fun living life of survival. Yes? Are you guys with me? If given a choice, we would all want to thrive in life. We would want to live an awesome life, a phenomenal life, a fully self-expressed life, not a life of survival. But the problem is, the moment we landed here, when I say landed, I mean we were born, we've been conditioned into survival. Okay, so on that note, let's move forward. And if you have any questions during the course of my presentation, feel free to just put them on the chat, just so that, because I'm somebody who goes with the flow. So if you speak in between, I lose my chain of thoughts, because although I put a presentation there, it is only to ensure that I give you the maximum value that I've come to give you, and I don't get lost into the conversations. But feel free to put your questions and queries and things on chat. And I would really appreciate if I can have hands up, or, giving me a thumbs up that you're with me and you're understanding what I'm saying. And if I can have a few of you open your cameras, that would be awesome. Because then I would be communicating with you rather than just speaking to a faceless crowd. All right. So moving forward, so I've done a lot of things. Life has navigated me into what I do right now. But just to share with you, I am from corporate. I've been into the IT industry. For 22 years, I worked in IT, and then I gave up. Somehow, during the course of these 22 years, I kept doing a lot of other work in NLP, hypnotherapy. I trained as a coach, because this is something that really is like a calling for me. So I never did it so that I could heal people or help people. I did it because it was something that I love to do. Like you love gardening, I used to love doing this. So during these 22 years, I kept working, and life kept bringing me into places where I was coaching and mentoring people on the side. And COVID was my time for moving from IT into full-time doing this, which is what I love to do. And this is what I do. And I have a very, I'm very committed to my mission, which is to impact people, schools, parents, to understand what is the value of emotional wellness, and how can I help people to become conscious, to become aware, and know that they are the creators of a life. We are already creating the life that we are living. Although we say it's God, or it's some entity, or somebody else is giving me the results I want, I work on vibrations and energy, helping people understand that we, because of what we and how we vibrate, are actually creating the life that we are living. So, but that's not the topic for today. So I will move forward. So before we start, let me share with you. When you say healthy mind, healthy body, healthy life, healthy mind is an entity that's full of emotions. The only thing that's stored in your mind is emotions. Emotions when we were 2 year old, emotions when we were 20 year old, emotions when we were 30, 40, 50 year old. Okay. We have memories, but those memories are stored as emotions. Any memory which does not have an emotion, usually you don't remember it. If you look back, you remember when somebody ridiculed you. You remember when somebody, you went out on a holiday and you had a good time. You enjoyed yourself. Anything that you went through an emotional up or a down is what is stored in your mind. So let's understand emotions, because if mind is emotions, mind is thoughts, and thoughts give you all the emotions. So what are emotions? So emotions are intrinsic key to all human beings. We receive 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and every single thought triggers one emotion. And if you look at your life, you would have this whole plethora of emotions flowing in. Something happens, you are sad. Some thought comes in, you become happy. Then you have, you're feeling upset, angry, frustrated, helpless, stressful, worried. Different emotions trigger, different thoughts trigger different emotions. Where do thoughts come from? From the mind. So today, emotions. So we get 60 to 70,000 emotions per day. There's a wide spectrum of emotions. Emotions impact everything we do in life, whatever is going on. If you are not doing well in office, there is some emotion that is trapped. If you are doing well in a certain area, there is some emotion that is working for you. Everything is driven by emotions. Apart from regular emotions, there are a lot of trauma that is trapped in our subconscious, which may have been trapped because of an impact incident like losing a loved one. So we talk about trauma a little bit in detail in the later slides. Or, during the first 6 to 7 years of our life, for some people it's 8, but that's it does number depends, 6, 7, 8 from person to person. So during this time, most of our emotions come into play, or they are formed. When we are born, we are full of love. That's the only emotion a baby knows. That's why whenever you see a baby, the baby triggers only love and happiness in you. You see a baby smiling, you like to smile. They automatically make you smile. When you see a baby crying, you look for the mother, please make this baby stop crying. What does he want? Can you give the baby something, whatever he wants? Right? So as the baby grows up, or we as babies, when we started to grow up, we started to understand emotions. Father came home, he was angry. That was my first instance of experiencing anger. Mother got frustrated because they were having a fight. So I experienced frustration, helplessness, anger, worry, affection. All of these emotions I have experienced and I have copied from people. I have seen people go through and I have learned them. I have absorbed them. Because when a baby is born, it's like a dry sponge. It's dry, colorless sponge. And then the moment it's born, it's like that sponge. So if you put a sponge, and even if at a little distance you put some water, the sponge will automatically soak in the water. That's how we are as kids. We constantly absorb from our environment. And another thing about emotions is we have never been taught how to deal with emotions. How do you deal with trauma? How do you deal with stress? How do you deal with day-to-day routine, fights, arguments? When when you get upset, like when you see a child and the child is crying, we don't know how to deal with it. We just go and tell the child, stop crying. It's okay. Don't cry. It's okay. It's okay. Don't cry. Or we just try to make it up, or, give them what they want just to get them to stop crying. But we never help them process that emotion. What is that emotion that's making them cry? Is it sadness? It is anger? Is it jealousy? Is it frustration? Is it helplessness? It is fear? What is that emotion? Because we don't know how to give them. So how we learn to deal our emotion is we picked it up from people around us. We saw our, bosses are acting a certain way, our fathers acting a certain way, our uncles, aunties, and we picked it up from them. So what we learned how to express emotion or deflect it. What I mean by that is when I feel angry, I throw it out on somebody. That's me expressing anger. And deflecting, as in when I feel angry, I try to either ignore it or I feel the anger and vomit it out on somebody else. I throw it out on somebody else. So if it is my boss who's getting angry, I will not be able to give back. So I will hold it down, suppress that anger. Okay. Or I will take that anger out on my son when I go home. That's deflection. Or if it's the maid who makes me angry, I would really go out and express it on her. So all of these three are expression, deflection, and suppression are three ways that we've learned how to deal with anger. Yes. And all these three ways do not help the emotion to get released. It locks the emotion in the body. It does not allow the emotion to get released. So the emotion is still there in the body. The only way to release an emotion is to live the emotion, to be with the emotion, not throw it out on somebody else, not pull it up and, I'm feeling angry, but I can't express it. So let me shift my focus. Let me focus on something else and go and live through life. So that again is deflecting the emotion. We saw our mother sad, helpless, angry. We learned how to suppress emotions. So I want to talk a little more about emotions. Every time an emotion comes in our body, there is a chemical reaction that happens. Every emotion that you are suppressing is having a chemical, depending on what kind of emotion it is. If you go on to Google, you can pick up this chart. I just Googled and there's a lot written out there. But unfortunately, they don't teach this to us, funnily enough. So anytime, any emotion, when it's suppressed, it goes and it stays there. And the way the chemical reaction works, see, whenever there is anxiety in the body, there will be indigestion or a stomach upset or something like that going on. Depression, the emotions die down, or the amount of thoughts are so high, but we're not able to process the thoughts at the same rate, leads to depression. Contempt, love. Do you see, these are the color, these are chemical reactions happening in your body when there is a different kinds of muscle tension. So I've just picked up different stuff to just share with you that emotions are constantly impacting our body. So when we talk about healthy life and healthy body, we need to understand this. So I'm going to move forward. How emotions get lost. Let me explain to you how this whole process works. And I'll make it very easy for you to understand. So if this is my physical body, let's say an emotion triggers. Okay. Emotion triggers like fear. Common emotion. We fear our bosses sometimes. We fear for our kids' future. We fear for, our own future in these trying times. We fear for almost everything. Maybe the state of politics with what's happening around the world in different areas. We fear for a lot of things. So when the fear emotion comes for the first time and it hits you, we either suppress it or express it. Can I request everybody to go on mute, please? Thank you. So whenever fear hits us, we either suppress or we express. Because suppression and expression does not allow the emotion to release, it goes and stays in the body. It first stays in the emotional body. If you understand the emotional body or the aura body, we have a physical body, an emotional body, and an aura body. And there are 7 body layers. So whenever an emotion first hits you and you're not able to release it, it stays in the aura body. Slowly, 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 it moves and moves and moves. And over a period of time, it moves into your physical body. And that is why as we start to age, let's say worthlessness is an emotion I deal with, and I've dealt it from the age of 5 or maybe 3 or maybe 7. And I have always, something in life happened and I felt worthless. something that happened, I felt worthless or insecure or fearful. Since we talk about fear, the first experience of fear I had when I was maybe 2. A lizard fell on my mom. She screamed because she's really fearful of lizards. That day, first time I experienced fear through my mother. Because at the age of 2, a child is so connected closely to the mother. So um, I first saw fear. The second time, again, something happened. Third time, I myself saw a lizard. Again, fear. So that fear kept coming again and again and again and again and again and again. And it kept getting trapped in my body. Depending on what kind of fear it is, what's the manifestation of it, it will go and lodge in some part of my body. Okay, first it will lodge itself in the emotional body, and slowly it will travel to the physical body. And that's why, if you've noticed, the moment you start to cross 30 or 35, we start to have physical ailments, migraines, lower back issues, middle back issues, knee pains. Anybody who's experienced that, not directly, or people in your life you've seen, your mother, father, neighbors, you know. So the more you start to age, the more the emotion has now kept, there's a backlog of it, if you know what I mean to say. And the whole backlog is now moving into your physical body. And suddenly you start with one fine day, a back issue. And then slowly that back issue again happens after 3 days. Then again, it happens after 7 days. And slowly it starts to happen every day. And then slowly it starts to happen almost all the time. And that's when even when it's happening all the time, if it's manageable, you kind of manage through it. So the manifestation of that emotion is happening. And then one day it gets so obscenely difficult for you to manage that you then run to the doctor. And now that you've gone to the doctor, it's too late. Not too late as in it can't be healed, but it's too late in the sense it's already come into the physical body. Had we addressed it when it was in the emotional body, had we arrested it, it would not have become so acute. So whatever ailment, the earlier you treat it, the more easier it is. The later you make it, the more difficult it is to treat it. It's not that it's not healable, but it's more difficult to treat. So coming back to this slide. So let's say the fear comes and manifests itself in my stomach. The next time I have another fear, again, the third time and the fourth time, and every time it's aggravating. And then suddenly I start to see ulcers, gastro issues, digestion issues. Eventually they lead to something like a heart attack. They might not lead immediately, but over a period of time. And then as we will go and we will, talk about, or we will say, oh my God, he was so young. What a young age to have a heart attack. You don't know for how long he's been dealing with these issues. We don't know what's going on inside the body. We'd have no understanding of what's happening inside the body. Heart attack is a way for the body to tell you, I am not able to take it anymore. A pain is a good thing because the pain tells you, focus on me. Take your focus away from the world and bring your focus to me. When your knee pains, you leave your focus on everything else and you focus on your knee, isn't it? So pain is a good thing. It's your body's cry for help. So whenever it pains, even the first time, the smallest instance of pain, look at it. Do not ignore it. And figure out what's that emotion that's getting there. I'm going to give you a lot of stuff here today on how to read these emotions or these issues. So anyway, so moving on, anxiety, depression, all of these. The only way out is to release these emotions. Okay, now let's move a little forward. So suppression leads to, over a period of time, so things happen, I suppress, or even deflection is equal to depression. Something happens and I suppress it. There comes a time, depression is what? We get so many thoughts, and we are not able to process those thoughts. And then we go into a spiral. And when we go into a spiral, we don't know how to come out of it. And when we go to a doctor and we tell him that this is what is happening, they will give you a suppressant. They will give you a mild sedative, or they'll give you some other something which will reduce the number of thoughts, but it will make you sleep most of the times, because when you're sleepy, there will be less thoughts. When there are less thoughts, you will be less depressive, but then you will be almost always sleepy. So it's not a healing that the doctor does with those pills. It's only suppression, suppresses the signs of depression. So let me talk a little bit about depression here. I want to share with you that people you know around you may be dealing with depression if, and these are some symptoms I'm sharing, is if you experience bursts of feeling of sadness, tearfulness, emptiness, hopelessness, or you experience angry outbursts, irritability, or frustration, even over small things, suddenly you would just lose your cool and you would just blast over everybody. Frequent loss of interest or pleasure in most or all normal activities, things that you would love to do otherwise, like driving, sports, hobbies. Now you don't like to do them anymore. It's just that it's just disinterested. Sleep disturbances. Either you sleep a lot or you are unable to sleep at all. Both the situations may be signs of depression, but you'll have to see, obviously, speak to an expert, but you can read the signs. That's why I'm giving you some signs of depression here. You experience extreme mood swings, emotional high and suddenly emotional low. And you keep swinging between these highs and lows. Okay. So this is, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. And all right. So moving forward. So that was about depression. I want to talk about one more, and that is trauma. Okay. Now, what is trauma? Trauma is, any natural disaster like a tornado, a hurricane, fire, or flood. It hits your lifestyle. It's like it comes and it shakes your whole world upside down. That's a trauma. Any sexual assault or sexual abuse is also trauma. It could be a very small instance which happened over many years, many instances is also trauma. Physical assault, abuse, parents or step parents who hit you or just do mental emotional abuse is also leads to trauma. Then you witness something like a shooting or a stabbing or somebody dying or some trusted person who you loved, you were attached to, and you suddenly lose them. That will have a trauma. Hospitalization for a critical ailment or something, not all hospitalization, but circumstances are acute, then it leads to a trauma. It may lead to a trauma. Losing a loved one, community violence, trauma, early childhood trauma like bullying, a teacher slaps you in front of the class, or all teachers picking on you because you're a slowpoke, or you've got mental some issues and you've dealt with the teachers bullying you or other children bullying you. That's trauma trapped in your emotional space, which will slowly over time get into your physical space. Intimate partner violence, domestic violence, physical or emotional, may also lead to trauma. Medical trauma. So these are various kinds of trauma, and this is what trauma is. Now, whenever there is trauma in the mind, and I just spoke about trauma, mostly trauma in the mind, it will start to reflect on the body over time. If this is your body, anytime you've had control issues, somebody trying to control you, it will start to show up on your tummy. You will start to you'll have a big tummy. So look around people. Anybody who has a big tummy is either trying to control people or is trying to avoid being controlled by others. Knee pains, very common. Leg pains. You want to run away from the life where you are or the situation you are in, but you're unable to face it, and you're unable to run away as well. Knee pains, leg issues. Migraines, issues with the head, resistance or lack of acceptance of things as they are. Thighs, bigger thighs and backside is insecurity. Insecurity over the last 20 years, you will start to develop heaviness in the thighs. Inability to communicate will go straight away to your thyroid or vocal issues or any kind of throat related issues. Lack of love, worthlessness, feeling unworthy, heart issues, blockages, heart attacks. All right, you can, if you want, just feel free to pick up print screens of the things that I put on. What does this trauma lead to? How does it impact me? Okay, fine, I have some trauma that I had to deal with. So big deal. A lot of people deal with trauma. How does this trauma impact me? Addictions, cigarette, alcohol, addiction to pornography, addiction of what do you call that? Kleptomania, where you kind of pick up stuff, you're thieving or stealing stuff, picking up stuff, pickpocket. That's all addictions. Anger, you're tuned to more anger, procrastination, lethargy. You feel like, okay, maybe I can do this tomorrow. Let me think about it. Almost always depression, feeling low, insecure, lack of energy, always doubting yourself. Should I do this? Should I not do this? I'm not sure. Um, you know, low self-confidence, fearful, insecurity. This is all impacts of trauma. Now look around you. How many of us are carrying this? I think almost all of us have some of this. I too was dealing with 5, 6 of them as well. Then other impacts, decision making, level of confidence, courage, peace of mind, insecurity related to future, relationships that are impacted. And then we also attracting, when you have patterns in life that you're attracting, like a painful boss. Every time I change my job because my boss used to be very bossy and, invariably the next boss would be the same. Financial losses. There are people who constantly do this as a pattern. Okay. Health issues as a pattern. Either you have some issue or some issue showing up all the time. You know how you've seen some people who are always talking about health issues, or somebody who's always talking about financial issues or work related issues. It's like those issues are being attracted by them. That's all impact of trauma. Until we release the trauma, it will keep attracting situations, circumstances, and people in your life so that you can release it. Because the body is a very smart mechanism. Anything you eat, it converts to flesh, blood, and bones, isn't it? No matter what junk food, good food, healthy food, vegan food, veg food, non-veg food, whatever you eat, it converts it to blood, bones, and flesh. That's how intelligent the body is. So when the body knows there is trauma inside, there is stress inside, there's helplessness inside, there's unworthiness inside, body will continuously keep attracting situations so that you can release it. But because nobody taught us how to release it, we struggle with it and we deal with it. All right. Suppressed emotions may also show up as migraines, skin rashes, chronic pains, hormonal imbalances, tensions, diabetes, memory issues, autoimmune diseases, insomnia, blood pressure, constipation, feeling tired, digestive issues, heart diseases, like I already covered. So when do we seek professional help? Very late, isn't it? When the emotion has deep rooted in the physical body and the body has developed a major ailment, and now moving forward is difficult, that's when we go to the doctor. How many of you have had a toothache and a mild irritation in the tooth and you, okay, maybe let's have a painkiller, maybe I'll go to the dentist. And then finally, when you do end up going, then the toothache is so unbearable and you have an appointment, an urgent critical appointment that you take, and then you go to the doctor and he says, okay, now I can only do an extraction or a root canal. I can't do anything else. You've come too late. That's how we deal with our body. So this is something I put a slide for just this audience. You can take a print screen if you want. So I put in different kinds of emotions when they are trapped in the body. What are the symptoms? So worthlessness when it's trapped in the body will give you upper body weight. Thyroid issues when there is an invisible authority not allowing expression. So wherever there is lack of expression, it may lead to thyroid issues. Whenever there is control issue, middle body weight, insecurity, lower body weight, prolonged anger inside the body will definitely lead to diabetes, tumors, and cancers. Headaches and migraines are caused by when your consciousness is drained out or drained in one direction. Something is stuck in life. Eyesight, when something is happening which you don't want to, accept. Continued suppression leads to depression. Feeling of suffocation will definitely lead to some kind of a lung issue, asthma, bronchitis. Especially if you've noticed children, when they can't deal with the environment, there's suffocation in the environment, they don't know how to express and they feel suffocated, they will come up with lung issues and asthma. Heart issues are caused by cheating, feeling used, unloved, rejection, constant rejection by different partners. Okay, so how we are living our life, and I think just a couple more slides there. How we're living our life is we are all running towards a goal, and we've got this whole bag full of fears for the future, doubts, rejections that we faced, grievances, upsets, guilt, regrets, anger, helplessness, frustrations, failures, anxieties, worries that we've been carrying for all life. When you are able to release your emotions, your experience of life shifts. Your levels of happiness, excitement automatically go up. You don't have to do anything about it. Self-confidence, freedom from worry, anxiety, being relaxed, positive, communication, leadership, performance, productivity, ability to connect to yourself, feel things as they happen rather than plan it out and be logical about it. Reduced illnesses and diseases, and growing yourself without any speed breakers. So what do you mean by healing yourself? What do I mean by how do you heal? How do you have a healthy mind? So this is you when you're born. So this is what we do. This is the work that I do. I have a 2-day workshop that I conduct in which I take people through the entire gamut. What I covered with you is a very, 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 very small fragment of the work that I do. And obviously, given that I had just 45 minutes to share this in, I tried to bring as much possible there. We tell you how we get to be the way we are and where are we? Because if I want to change my life, I need to know 3 things. First, how did I end up here? Second, where am I? Because if I don't know where I am standing, I don't know which direction to move, right? If I'm standing in India, I know exactly which side do I need to travel if I need to go to London, or which side if I want to go to China. Are you getting? So I need to know where I am. And the third important thing is how to get there. And all 3 are equally important. A lot of people and a lot of things out there tell you how to get there, but they don't address the first 2. If you don't know where you're standing and how you got to be here, you don't know how to move forward. Even if I give you the way forward, it won't work because you don't know where you are, how you got to be there. So this is how we are born. And over time, as we grow up, we acquire beliefs from other people. Beliefs like money does not grow on trees. One has to work really hard to make money. I need to take care of my health for health to take care of me. Or different kinds of beliefs. We have a lot and lots of beliefs about almost everything. As we grow up, we have who we are being all the time. If I say we are either being very communicative, we are being sometimes very lazy, so we pick up our way of being from our environment. And then everybody, all of us, are different ways of being in different situations and circumstances. Then over time, we pick up different behaviors with different people. And over time, we develop different habits and patterns. So we are a whole amalgamation of all of what we are, plus a lot of other things, because beliefs, beings, behaviors, patterns, habits are all acquired. That's not who we are. Okay. And if I want to live to my fullest potential, I need to remove these layers, the patterns and habits and behaviors and beliefs and everything to access who I really am. Okay. And on that, I want to give you an example. Umesh, I do have 7 more minutes, right?
Yes, you do, Asma.
Okay, thank you. So, so this is a very beautiful analogy that I will share with you. Have you all seen a seed? Maybe a wheat seed or a seed. Yes.
Yes.
A seed, it's really usually hard on the outer surface to protect the seed. And for you to nurture a seed, you first need to leave it in moisture or an area where there's sunlight and there's some moisture and there's a little water for it to sprout out or bud open. And when you open it, it's very soft and mellow and it's very vulnerable. It can break if you just press it hard. But that seed, actually, if you look at a tree which is a full-blown tree with a lot of flowers, birds making their nests underneath in it, people sitting underneath it, all the seasons that tree that lives 1,000 years. Have you seen a tree? Yes. That seed does not know that that tree is contained inside of it. Likewise, so the seed has the potentiality of that entire tree, all the experience of that tree, the multiple number of flowers and seeds, the thousands of seeds that will come out from that tree are already inside this one seed. Until this seed starts to open, for that, the outer shell needs to crack and it needs to open up. It can't live to that fullest expression. And that's goes for us as well. Unless we remove all these outer layers and access our inner self, we can't be, or we don't even know our true potential of who and what we can be. So for us to be the fullest potential, we need to break out of these patterns, habits, behaviors, and all of that. And that's what I do in this 2-day workshop. We work through removal and breaking open and carving out and removing all that is not you. Okay, when should we seek professional help? Most of us, like I said, have a postmortem approach to life. When things get stuck, we went to the doctor. Okay, so I think that's about it from my side, and I'm open to questions. I've been talking without checking with the audience, so I do hope everybody connected to what I said. You got value out of it.
Thank you very much, Asma, for that wonderful presentation. If anyone's got any questions or any comments, please put them on the chat and I'll address them to Asma. We've got a comment over here, Asma, from Rohini, a phenomenal analogy, the seed to the tree. Well done.
Awesome, isn't it? We've never looked at ourselves like that. We
No.
have that potentiality of a tree inside us. And we are all just seeds waiting to break up and open up. And most of us don't, by the way. And that's why we're so sad, and we're upset and we are like lacking all the time of, I could have done something. What else could I have done? What could I have been? For me, since childhood, everybody said, Asma, you have good potential. You have a very high potential. And I kept looking at myself and my life, when is that potential going to come out? When is it really going to, until I started working on myself. And working on myself, most of us start to work on ourselves with a very, in a very negative way. How we work on ourselves is we look at ourselves that I'm not enough. I'm not up to the mark. So let me go out and get something additional so that I can be better. No, there is no need. Everything you need is inside you. Rather than going out and getting something, you should go in, start to walk inwards. And that's the inward journey. Everything is there. All I need to do is open it up. Like onion. You can't eat an onion or use an onion until you peel the outer layers. And that's what we also need to do.
Asma, we've got a question over here from Shamim. What modalities do you use in the 2-day workshop, and how can she get more information on the course?
I can, should we, I have I'm going to put up a slide. I'm sorry, I forgot to present that there. Um, I'm putting up my WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp me and I can give you more details on that. Oops, sorry, it's not coming up for some reason. Give me a quick second.
Sure.
Oh yeah, okay, I can't really have this slide. Just give me a quick moment here. Yeah, so I'm going to address this as well. So you can WhatsApp me, and obviously you can reach Umesh. Umesh can also give you my reaching out to me details. So there are a lot of things we do, but most of the work I do, I picked up from. So we work on your beliefs. We dismantle the beliefs. Most of my work I picked up from the studies I've done in epigenetics, understanding your emotions, on metaphysics. Also from hypnotherapy, we pick up a lot of stuff from there. So it's something that I do which I haven't seen people doing out there. And I'm not the one. We are two of us. We are two therapists that have come together with our expertise in working with people, working with emotional wellness for 17, 18 years, and just kind of bringing it all together under one program. And till so far, we've got a lot of people in the last 2 years who've done these workshops, and they are obviously working with us on longer programs, because they are very keen to. And I've had people who heal depression. So I have a patient who was dealing with depression for 3 years. As of right now, he's been working with me for 6 months. 3 months back, 90% of his medication has been removed by the doctor. Obviously, because depression is something where you can't just suddenly discontinue the medicine. So he's being weaned off the medication. Then I've worked with people having heavy body weight issues. The lady I am working with who had severe back pain for the last 28 years. She's 53 right now. And 2 months into the program, she's been working with me for 6 months now, but 2 months into our 6-month program workshop, that back issue vanished for her. Knee pain has gone. She's been dealing with knee pain for 8 years and suddenly it's gone. But doctors had prescribed that she needed to go for a surgery, which she does not need to go anymore. Because what we do is we go with hypnotherapy, we go inside and we help you release that emotion from the body. There is way to do that. I honestly, I'm a person, I don't like using allopathy because I feel allopathy. There's a lady whose son was dealing with cancer, one of my clients. Finally, he died. God rest his soul. That boy was like, I don't have a problem with the cancer so much as I have with the medication, the chemotherapy, the constant burning sensations in the body. I'm not able to eat anything. My hair is shedding. So that was more of an issue than the cancer itself. So we can heal cancer as well through the kind of work that we do. And so that's really the number of modalities that we use. Yes, what's the next question? I thought I started reading my
Okay,
notes.
so we've got another comment regarding the body shape here. You have genetic dispositions to your body shape, sometimes
Yes,
out of
so
your.
this is what we actually work or study in epigenetics, okay, and that's what we brought here. So how does mind play a role here? I just want to bring it to light here. If my mother is heavy, let's say weight has a weight, and her mother is heavy, we presume I'm also going to be a heavy person. You know why? Because there is a belief system that's flowing. I'm picking my beliefs about my body from my mother. For me, there is a belief that weight is good or weight is acceptable. Everybody has weight. Having weight is not a big deal or whatever it may. And that defines my weight. My mother has a belief from her mother. From her mother has a belief from her mother. So let me tell you, we can break the genetic cycle here, the gene cycle. It's very easy because genes are all, everything is connected to the mind. Everything is connected to the mind. So, and you said sometimes that's out of our control. Yes, it is definitely out of our conscious control, not our unconscious control. Our subconscious mind is defining our body. The subconscious mind already relates to you as a certain person, depending on your belief system. And that's how you look from the outside. Like, for example, let me share with you, this is a very, very personal example. And like if you look at my photographs, I am all of 45, going on 46 right now. But if I meet you in person, I don't look a day above 26. And how much time did I take to lose that much weight from my face and my body? About the last 10, 12 years that I've been working on myself. So if you see a photograph of mine from college, I look 10 years elder to what I look right now. And that's all because of the work I do. It's just that when you start to heal from inside, your body thrives. Your blood flows, your hair starts to fall in place, your skin starts to glow, you got these like you see a teenager. That's the kind of person you start to become, because all that is weighing you down is suddenly not there anymore. You're kind of shedding off your skins that you've been carrying, that whole baggage you've been carrying, which is taking all the attention from the mind. So
Thank you for that, Asma. Someone got another question over here. I think the question is, what is hypnotherapy, and how does it work?
So hypnotherapy is, so there are two parts of our mind. There's a conscious mind, which allows us to deal with our life, day-to-day life, planning, goal setting, logical thinking, what we want to do. Today, let me do this, making my to-do list and everything. And then there is the subconscious mind, which is taking care of the heartbeats, the muscle pumping, the liver, the gallbladder, the hair growth, every time you sleep. So the subconscious mind is running my life 90%, 95% of the time. My conscious mind runs 5%. Okay. We like to change our life by changing things in our conscious working area. That's 5%. But if I have a belief in my subconscious that money is hard to come by, I will always struggle in life. But if I have a belief, let's say a billionaire's son, he will do the stupidest things and still I manage to end up with $1 million he'll make, because he has a belief that is conducive for him, which he's picked up from his father or his forefathers. So money is not the issue. The issue is the subconscious mind has a belief which promotes or which kind of supports. So if you have an outcome in life which you don't like, so I'm coming to why was I sharing this with you, is hypnosis or hypnotherapy is a process by which we access the subconscious mind. We take you into a process where we do past life healing, patterns of different kinds, like a lot of body issues. If you've heard of black magic, even that can be released by working through hypnotherapy. What does it do? We silent the conscious mind, put the conscious mind to rest, and we access your subconscious mind, which is running 95% of your life. And whatever is disrupting in your subconscious life or subconscious, it's not very, I'm making it sound very simple, but it's like an open heart surgery. A surgeon can't explain to you what he does. First I use the scalpel, rip open the heart, like so. So hypnotherapy is basically non-intrusive, and what you really do is you access the subconscious mind, and whatever is not working with you or dealing, no, it is not risky at all. And most of the times, in fact, I had a hypnotherapy session today for myself by my mentor, because I, for the last 2-3 days, have been suddenly dealing with a lot of lethargy, and I didn't know what is happening to me. So today, when I woke up, I woke up very late. I'm usually an early riser, but I woke up very late and I was feeling so lethargic. So I reached out to my mentor and I said, I have a session in the evening and I'm feeling very lethargic. Something has come up and it's disturbing me. So I went in and we went into my therapy session, and I encountered my mother-in-law. I'm separated right now, but somewhere the emotional blockages with my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law are still there. So during that session, it was a 45 minutes to an hour session. A lot of, I released a lot of emotions there. A lot of emotions that was blocked inside me, which I didn't even know was blocked. I'd actually done all my healing and I thought I was completely done with that. But apparently something was there and it had not come up till now. And when that therapy was happening, I had an acute throat issue. My throat, there was a left side of my throat. It's still slightly hurting, but it was paining so badly during the therapy. And I could feel the pain, and the therapist helped me release the pain there and then. I realized that with my mother in law, I always was very stuck up. I could not express myself. And all of that had been lodged here. So when I started to release it, it came up for release. And it took 2-3 minutes for me to just let it go. And um, and just like that. And I don't know if you felt that I was lacking energy in my session or anything, because I felt all good with that. Well, we do it like meditation, Jayashree. We do put you in a trance, but the good part with therapy is, with modern hypnotherapy, is that you remember everything. You don't, and we do it on Zoom because of COVID. Most of the times we do it on Zoom.
Got another question, Asma. Got someone saying, it's actually Nishila. She said that I've tried hypnotherapy a few times, but never managed to go under. Why?
I don't know who you worked with, but usually with me, I first do a couple of sessions where I explain the whole process to you, because until the mind knows what you're up to, it will not allow you. The mind is very smart. It will not allow you to enter. So I work through and discuss with the patients. Number two, we all have something that we call suggestibility. Some people feel more. Some people um, uh, um, feel more in the body. Some people feel more in the mind. Everybody has a different way of going under. So first of all, I understand what kind of a person are you. Some people go under like this. Others take a lot of time to go under. So for a therapist or an effective therapist, it's very important to know the other person's or the client's suggestibility. So when I do therapy, I always find out what kind of a suggestibility is my client, so that I can address him from that perspective. I can address, or I can take him down, because some people, it will take me 5 minutes to take under. There are some of my clients, if I speak to them more than 5 minutes, they would be sleeping full sleep. And there are clients of mine who it takes me 25 minutes just to take them under, just to close their conscious mind and access the subconscious mind, allow them to relax to that state. How often are we relaxed? We're not relaxed at all. Even when we are sleeping, we've got these tons of things going on, that I have to wake up, send my kids to school, I have to do this, I have to do that. We never let go of control. And hypnotherapy does just that. It takes the control from the conscious mind, and the conscious mind does not want to give up control. So, and that's where the whole issue comes with. So, any other questions? Something that we haven't addressed as yet?
Got a couple of minutes. Any last minute question?
I mean, if anybody wants to open the mic and ask, it's really all right.
Okay, no more questions, Asma. Nothing.
All right. So you have been, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I missed the whole session. I just entered. So, do you have a recording? Will I get this?
Mary, this session has been recorded. If you send me a message with your telephone number, WhatsApp telephone number, I'll send you the link to my my YouTube channel.
Okay.
If you send it directly to me, a direct message with your telephone number, and I'll send you the recording.
Okay. So
Who
on
do I
that note,
message to you?
So if you just message to me.
Okay. My just WhatsApp number, phone number, you mean?
Yeah, let me just give you my, I'm just putting my number. That's my number. Sorry, it shouldn't be equals, it should be plus. +44 794 182 0801.
You done it in the chat, right? Yeah.
I
So
have.
I can just, okay, I can just give you my number here.
Just do it direct, message, private direct message to me. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
all right. So on that note, I would like to take the opportunity to say thank you. You've been a very nice and patient audience. I love to share what I did share earlier. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring this education to you. I hope this will add and has added some value to you. I am also leaving my number in the chat box. If you want, you can pick up my number from the chat. And thank you so much for having me here, Umesh. Kudos to you for doing what you're doing and bringing this to a wider audience. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Asma. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, and thank you for your time today. And thank you to everyone for joining. I'll leave the chat open for a couple of minutes. If anyone wants to send their telephone number directly to me, please do so, and then I'll put you